Good afternoon, everybody. How's things? It's a little bit, a bit bright here today. I'm actually at home prepping for tomorrow. So I've got the dogs all nice and calm and quiet. And how long? Not quite sure. I've just been finishing, well, see, I'm doing a bit of prep for tomorrow. Just wanted to show you that, look at this. It's not very big. It's almost like a baby John's ruler. So I'm just sort of finishing colouring that in. But I'm going to put that to one side because we're going to focus on tile number 310. Do you know what never sort of ceases to amaze me that we're on 300, let alone 310. And of course it's Sunday we're going to be starting our new quilty tangly tile type of thing, aren't we? So yeah, sewing. Gosh, so if you've never done that before and you're all on there ready to go, it's going to be great, isn't it, as well? If you're not sure what I'm talking about, have a look at some of the feed going on. So, or Chris, I think has mentioned it as well. So, absolutely, lots of things going on. Of course, with it being New Year, and then of course we're going to aim for doing our tile swap, which is the third Monday of every month. So is that going to be next Monday, or is it more? I can't remember, but I'm sure somebody will tell me. So here we go then. What do I have with me today? Regular pen, pencil, tortillon. I've got my white pen with me today, my white gel pen, just in case. And I've got these lovely colours hanging around as well, just in case we get to that. So I'm going to make a start, I think, and I'm going to come straight in with pen. All right, so no messing about today, straight in with pen. So are we ready for this? Oh, hi everybody. Okay, now what I have done, I've inked it. Now I've got this lovely sort of, you know when you ink something and you think, oh, it's a bit scruffy. It's one of those pads that I've had for ages and ages, and it's just giving this lovely sort of, if I didn't pencil all across, this lovely sort of texture, so I'm leaving it. I'm not going to throw it away just yet. Quite like it. Should be green though. And you can see it's not really green. But that's okay. I don't mind that as well. So, okay. Straight in with pen then. What I've got, look, there you go, my 03. I'm going to start in the middle. Now, you don't want to do this too small, but you don't want to go too big either. How do we explain that? We want a bit of a splodge in. So if you let me sort of draw it, then I can sort of zoom out and let you see the context. There we are. Oh, thank you for that. Thank you, everybody. We've been trying to actually post to America today, but apparently the post office is not accepting international post at the minute. They've been hacked or something. So I'm going to have to sort that for you, a different courier. So if you have ordered from America, I'll have it sorted and we'll get it collected so we can start it on its journey to you. There you go. Oh, hi. Oh, thank you, Louise. Do you know what? They are really nice to work with, aren't they? I'm really pleased with them. They're pretty good flow, aren't they? There we go. See, I'm going to put a little one in there as well. You see what I've done? I've filled the space in with a little bit of a shorter shape in there. All in a clear gel pen with sparkle in it. That was, oh, I don't know. That was probably a jelly roll, Stardust. Actually, that's a bit more metallic. But it probably was one of theirs. Now I'm going to draw some bubbles. I'm going to go a little bit bigger because they are going to be a little bit bigger. And I'm going to explain why. Because what I want to do is put inside another bubble. And then let's have a little highlight. That's why my white pen's around in case I fill it in. Or you might want to do the bit inside first and then create the aura. You see? Whichever works. Looks two little eyes in a fried egg, isn't it, at the minute? Let's do another. So, you see, because I've got the space here, I'm going to fill in as best as I can. I'm not trying to complete them all. They can sort of appear as though they're going sort of underneath this section. Let's have a bit of a highlight in there. You see? And then, so, I mean, if you want to say draw the inside bit first, that's how it would sort of be. That was lovely, isn't it? It's not going to stay like a ghost. And then, of course, if you want to do it the other way. Now, notice my little white highlights. I'm moving them about a bit. They're not staying in the same place. So you're not going to get much more there, are you? So any little gaps, let's just sort of fill them in with a bit of ink. Okay. So looking at these let's have a look. It's going to be same sort of thing. So it's like this tangle, or it's almost going underneath what we've got there. There you go. And just sort of filling each little bit in as I go. Got a little highlight there as well. There we go. There's no real way around this. It's not going to be top or bottom, middle or side. It's going to be, I'm going to do quite a large one there, I think. There you go. There you go. All right. You see that? Let's have a look at that then. Okay. So you could fit another one in there, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to leave it as that. And then the next thing I'm going to sort of, let's have a look. I'm going to create a little bit of a loop. Not too small. There we are. All right. Let's do another one. I'm going to do a bit thinner. Okay. Not too close together. I want those gaps in between this time. Let's go one here. Now, of course, you've got to look at your shape and decide how this is going to work, because it's going to be a little bit different than mine. But we do want these gaps in between. Now, you see, I've got a bit more space here than I have there. So let's bring one in here. Let's go a bit bigger. You see? Oh, Rose. No. There you go. Maybe just a little one there, look. Like a little splodge. Well, then sometimes as well, I'll use a glaze pen and then sprinkle glitter over the top of it. And what I find is that then I can control how much glitter, but I've still got the shine with the glaze. Okay. You can do the same sort of thing with the coloured glaze pens as well. So of course you're not going to get it completely clear, it's going to be glitter, but there you go. So you can see I'm working my way all the way around the tile here and adding these sort of loop shapes in as I go. There you go. And we want sort of, let's have a look. So I've got a little one there. I'm just going to put a little one in there. I don't want to go all the way to the end. Okay, like that. Easy so far, isn't it? So yeah, Len, I do like my old school glitter, I must admit. I do like that. And Hunky Dory do a really nice holographic glitter in a set. Lasts for ages. It's well worth the money. So that's the one I'm using. Or that's what I'm using on my samples tomorrow anyway. On my demos. Not that I tend to glitter when I'm live on TV. I've sort of previously done because I like to make sure it's dry. Not going to stick anywhere. And of course, packing up afterwards, you don't want wet glitter on one of your cards. So it'll stick to one of the others. We don't want that. Okay, so I'm creating this little aura around my shape. It is a bit, isn't it? A bit of a splash. It's something a little bit different. It's sort of organic, but it's not too much. If we've got those people who love grids out there, you can sort of work it out and have something a bit more symmetrical. There it is. Okay, it's nice. Okay, so we've got some gaps here. What I'd like to do, I'm going to come a little bit bigger. Here we go. And I'm going to put some little auras in here. So I'm going to keep them sort of roundish. I'm not going to bother if it's quite small, but if they're a little bit bigger, let's put a few in. Say maybe one there. So I want some of that space. I want something a little bit different in there. Okay, so that's about as much as I'm doing there. Oh, Rose, if I was going to use glitter, that would be the very last thing I did. I wouldn't put any glitter on until I'd finished drawing what I was going to draw. So, no, you've not missed anything. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to create these bubble shapes with a little highlight in the gaps around the splashy loops. So whatever works for you, you might decide you want to draw the inside bit first, but personally, I'd rather draw the outside because then I know that it's sort of touching the bit I want it to touch, if that makes sense. So you can see here, I'm not going too small with them. You might find that we're going to get a few that are going to be small, but it's okay. Let's have a look at this. All right. So I'm not trying to completely fill the space with the size, but it's nice to have a few. So see here, there's going to be quite a small one there, isn't there? Can't quite fit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just keep them as plain bubbles and ink around the edge. See? So if it's too small, that's fine. So like this one, you've got to decide, do you want to actually fill that one in? Or do you want to sort of leave it blank? See, I'm gonna go for it. There you go. And then those bits around, see, it's gonna be quite small, so I'm not gonna worry about those. Now if you find that you're getting yourself into a bit of a pattern, because I know we do sometimes, start somewhere else on the tile, so you don't need to. See there, I can get a larger one in. I know, Sheila. That's my objective. Let's do random. So see how I could do another one the same size, and it's really tempting, isn't it, to go all the way down and do them all the same, but we don't want that. So let's start one about here. Okay, put one in there, and then here let's add some smaller ones in. Just breaks it up a little bit. Okay. And then one there. See, I'm going to get my middle bit in there. Just a little one there. There we go. So, working my... Oh, got a bit of what I missed there. I'm actually filling in the little gaps as I go, because it's quite a lot of ground to cover here, and of course I don't want to miss any, although I probably will. So, I can't really do much about that. It's quite narrow, so I'm not going to try and change it as much. Okay. Let's fill these in. So are we all ready for tomorrow then? Are we all ready for book 10? Gosh, can you believe we're doing book 10? Unbelievable. It's a little bit of a different one, this. You know, I say that about all of them, don't I? Yeah, I do like it. All right, so you don't have to decide if you're going to do these ones as you go. You might think, well, I'll draw all the bubbles in and then I'll come back and decide which ones I'm going to sort of fill in. Entirely up to you. You can do that if you want. Okay. So I'll put a few in there. You see? So, what time am I on? 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock. I want to say, I think so. So it's not an early get up tomorrow, which is good. I don't have to be at the house at silly o'clock in the morning. But that's nice. I know Pauline's on today, ain't she? I've spoken to Pauline since, I think it was New Year's Day actually. I saw Pauline. She came in for her diary, didn't she? There we are. Bubbles around there. So I'm not sure when they're going to put it on. But what I am going to do is make sure that we don't run out, so to speak. We always give them a certain number, and of course we've got to do that because we need to make them. But I will sort of have a word with the producer tomorrow, and we won't run out of them. So you won't hear a stock update, because what we'll do is I'll say that if that amount isn't enough, just sort of keep it running. There we go. Okay. So you're just sort of deciding. I'm not going to do every single one, see, put one in there. I want that little bit of a change between the ones that have and ones that haven't, so let's fill that. See, that one has to, it's quite big, isn't it? And I'm going to do a large one there. Oh, that's quite nice. Put the highlight in and then fill around it. And then, of course, any little gaps we can fill with a bit of ink. So a few smaller ones. I could have put another big one there, but I'm just going to stick with small because I need that little bit of a change as we go around. There you go. Alright, so this bit, again, rather than repeat what's happened, you can do some large and some small, so just breaks it up a bit. There you go. Oh, Lynn, you always ask if there's anything new. Always. I've told you what's new. I've got book 10. And if you were at the beginning, you would see me colouring on something. But, I'm taking to air. We have never taken John's ruler to air before. And we're not going to. Now, honestly, John's ruler is brilliant, but actually packing as many as we would need for the show, because we have to, as you know, wrap them in corrugated card because of the post and damaging. So we've created a smaller version, which is actually really, really cute. Because sometimes, you know, when I've been working on tiles, I've said, oh, it's a little bit big, because I like to sort of square up. For example, look, I like to square up my space, you see. And the larger rule's just a little bit big. So this one, look, so sweet. Okay. I've still got to finish colouring it though. That one will be finished tomorrow and sprayed and everything. So you can see what it looks like. There you go. I think actually it's thanks to a few of you out there that have asked for it as a smaller version. So John's like, yeah, okay, we can do that. Look at this, how it's sort of come in. It's, yeah. It's a little bit of a death by bubbles today, but do you know what? I think the end result is so worth it. It looks amazing. It's nice, isn't it, just to repeat the same pattern as we're going. I'm just adding that little bit of black in there as well. There we are, so. Alright, a few little ones. There we go. And I'll see a larger one there. Okay. And there, just sort of working your way. Again, you find if you're repeating yourself, then start somewhere else. You can always come back and do that a little bit later. You don't have to sort of follow on. Sometimes, you know, as well, if you're doing the same design around a lot of stuff, sometimes it's quite nice to sort of move on and do it elsewhere, and then eventually it fits. And what do I spray my ruler with? I use the Crafter's Companion Spray and Shine. It's brilliant. I actually use that for fixing everything, honestly. It's actually as well, if you actually draw your tile and shade it, and then use Spray and Shine, let it dry with your pencil, of course, once you've shaded, and then if you then go over it with your ink, if you want to ink this edges, it actually gives it quite a nice little texture. So I do use it in my sketchbooks as well to fix anything in there that, you know, as you're closing and opening the pages, your pencil will transfer over, so that stops it doing that. Just a light spray, it's absolutely fine. And it dries really quickly as well. So, I do like that. Okay, see, sort of filling those in. It's looking quite nice, isn't it? How different is this? So, again, just fill in the gaps as you go. And see there, I'm going to put one in there. And again, I've not sort of waited till I've got there. I thought, well, I'm going to put one in so I can come back and fill these bits in. There you are. Okay. So you're going small on purpose there. You know, sometimes as well, if you find you've filled it with bubbles and you don't have enough black area in, then just fill one of the bubbles in black. That sorts it out for you. There we go. So I'm glad I left that space now and put that little aura in there. Just changes it up a bit, doesn't it? There we are, filling around that area. And again, start with a smaller bubble and just add a couple of tiny ones in. Get a little bit of ink around there. Brenda, yes, we will. Absolutely. Actually, Brenda, do we have a parcel ready to come out to you? Is yours one of the Americans that John's just tried to take to the post office? I'm just asking because if that's the case, I can let Leslie know and she'll add one in to your parcel if you want me to. No obligation, of course. It's just I'm thinking if there's one on its way. All right, so I'm going to put one in there. Again, filling it in. Again, you know, you don't have to use black ink. You can use any colour you like. You can fill these in and add little bits of glitter if you want. I know we've talked old school glitter. I do like Nouveau drops as well, if you're not thinking glitter, although they do glitter ones. And, you know, everybody's to their own, aren't they? What? The Nouveaus are quite nice for adding a spot of colour, aren't they? I think. There we are. So you could actually use the Nouveau drops and add colour to just some of these. Bye, Sam. Then leave some of them flat. So there's so many options. You don't have to draw all of them. You could just use those. Lots of drops. But again, if you're going to use spray and shine on a tile, I would do that and then add Nouveau drops. Same with your glitter. Glitter is absolutely the last thing you put on. Ah, Brenda, that'll be the one then, yeah? Right. Because I know John's just sent me some weight and measurements for parcels, so I need to book a courier for them. Oh, hello, Lisa. It's lovely that the people pop in and see how things are going. It's lovely. There we go. And it's a little bit weird being on a Thursday, isn't it? I just thought with tomorrow you just can't always settle somewhere in the green room, you know, to do one of these. So I thought, well, we'll spend some time today and do it. Oh, Deborah as well. Hello, welcome back. Oh, not to worry, you can drop in and out as you like. It's not that any one follows on from another. We don't do part one, part two, so. And you can catch all of them on YouTube, or you can look back on this channel. I think actually coming up in the not too distant future, I think I'm going to look at moving and doing all my videos on the Sanntangle group page. Sorry, Chris, I've not mentioned that yet, but I think that might come. Okay, there we go. So, all right, so far so good. Look at that. Once we shade it, it's going to look a bit different again, isn't it? Okay, so here we go. I'm going to add a few extra bits because we've got space around here, and I left that on purpose. So what I want to do now is bring in a couple more of those little loops. There we go. And a couple in here. I'm not trying to sort of mirror image anything. I'm just sort of looking, you see where I've got this dip here? It's sort of following in from that there. So I'm not going to do it on every one though. See that? It looked right, so we'll do that one. One there's fine. So maybe one little one there, look. Yeah, so one more maybe. Let's do one here. There we go. Maybe one tiny little one. Okay, you could keep filling it, couldn't you? All right. Also, I think what I want to get on in there as well is some of these bubbles. Again, I'm going to fill in, add that little highlight. And let's do another one. And a couple that are a bit smaller, so I'm not going to do any with those. And let's have a look around here. See, that's quite a lot smaller. Just get one in there. There we go. All right. And then sort of around here maybe, let's have a look. Let's put one, oh, it feels like it needs one there. So again, you're going to have a look at your tile and you make your decisions as to where you want to put these extra little bits. Whether you want a few or a little, or whether you're going to do them with colour. Yeah, I like that. And it's, again, it's really tempting, isn't it, to do this bit and add bubbles here as well. But you know what? Sometimes you think, well, I'm not going to do it. It might, you know, it actually looks quite nice, I think, with those bits there. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some colour. So I've got my coloured pencils. They're already sharpened, so I might as well use them. Let's come on in then. And I want to sort of accentuate this middle bit here. So I'm going to start with my darkest colour. Now, I'm not going to press on at the minute. I'm just going to apply some colour. A bit around there. Yeah. Let's do the same with these as well. So you see I'm doing sort of a little bit there and I'm coming around. So more at one side than the other. And I'm actually putting more on the side that curls inwards, if that makes sense. So it's almost going around what I've already got there. A little one there. And this is my darkest colour. There you are. And again, I'm not particularly colouring in, I'm just applying some at the minute. Just let's get some on and have a look at it. Okay. Notice that I've not done those little auras, those three there. Okay. So if I bring in my next colour, this is sort of what we would call my mid colour. Let's go over what I've already done. Up here a little bit. Around there. Now I'm sure a lot of you know how to colour anyway. So I'm going through this quite quickly. But if there's anybody out there that, you know, wants to sort of see how it's done, then I think sometimes it's worth just explaining it, isn't it? So again, you notice I'm not really colouring in heavily, so you can still see the paper or the cardstock underneath there. It's just almost like I'm just applying the colour at the minute, it's working out where it's going to go. And if you feel you need to, then go ahead and colour one at a time. But I'm all for doing the same level at the same time with pencils. Alcohol markers, different matter. There you are. And this one. So if you were to do this one with a blue, then probably it would look more like a water splodge, wouldn't it? Okay, coming in with my lighter one. Again, see, I'm starting to sort of go over everything, still leaving a little bit of a space there. There you go. Oh, see, I missed this one. I'll come back and put a bit of dark in a minute. I always miss one. There you are. I see, always sort of aiming for a little highlight wherever I can. And of course, I am doing this rather quickly because it might take a little bit longer to colour than to draw. So I'm just giving you an idea of how I would do it. So we've not really done a full colouring one for a little bit, have we? So there we go. Always looking to keep that highlight. And of course, you see I'm curving the shape as well, so you're still getting that idea of that shape working its way around there. Okay. Oh, I'm going to put a bit more around there. You see, it's sort of started to press on a little bit now. So, in my absence of my white, I've got a cream. So I'm just going to fill in. So almost go over, it's almost burnishing what's already there now. Not all the way, just sort of working it into that colour. You see, it's sort of along we go. You see, it's going to look a lot brighter, that, because I've got a dark ink in the background. There you go. See, again, sort of follow the curves. Just go round in there. And then, of course, into that middle space. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to now just quickly work my way back. So I've got my darker colour. Let's add a bit more. See how I'm pressing on now? It's starting to bring that in, but it's a lot easier because there's already colour on there. So I don't have to sort of press on as much, and it's already started to blend, so I don't have to do too much. Okay. Same in there. And this one, just sort of keep working your way around it. And you'll notice that the cardstock in the background is going to start to disappear. There we are. See, the colour's coming back, isn't it? That darker colour. You see. Backing with the mid. Oh, hi Vicky. I'm taking John's new ruler on with me tomorrow. That's new. But other than that, it's not new. What am else am I taking? To the Moon and Back. That's a really nice one. I'm going to take that back. Timepieces, cabochons. I don't think what else. That kind of thing. I'm going to do a demo with the timepieces actually. Just make it into something a bit more than just a coloured page, really. So I'm going to make a little piece of art with that. So that should be fun. Just want to go through some techniques and things. So, there you go. Okay, just sort of going to go over that a little bit lightly. See, because I want to help blend that in a little bit more. But again, I'm not going over the whole of that lighter colour. I'm just helping it to blend a bit. There you go. I'm actually going to do the To the Moon and Back on parchment paper, because as we know, it works really well. And it's been nice to get the opportunity to show you one of my stencils on parchment. So I thought that'd be quite nice. Okay. Yeah. Oh, were they, Viv? Have I put any on the website? They'll come with the kit, but there'll definitely be some on the website. Sorry you got all monochrome, it wasn't meant that way. We do usually pick a few up and try and mix and match them, because of course we put them in the kits. So, alright, oh, see my pencil roll along there. It's going to come back in with that creamy colour now. I'm just going to burnish everything together. And let's have a look at how that looks. So of course a lot of the background now has sort of disappeared, because we've got this sort of build up of layers going on. Always works better than trying to do it in one go. I know it takes a little bit longer, but you do get a better result. There you go. You sort of fill it in now. And again, I would use, actually it's quite nice with the cream. I know I'd usually use a white pencil. Oh, it's quite nice with that cream. Do that one. Okay. Oh, I think it is just a little bit more of that pink in the centre bit there. Just ease it in. Sometimes you've just got to take off the pressure and help. My pencil's rolling. I'm on my kitchen table, it's obviously not level. Mind you, the amount of sewing stuff on it at the minute, that's probably what it is. Okay, how lovely is that? Oh, I know, it's lovely, isn't it? A little bit of red and pink together. So I do have a bit of purple here. Let's come on in a minute. I'm just going to add a little bit in. Just on there. Yeah. We'll look out for the next time you order a set on the website, and we'll make sure that they colour for you. We'll pick them out. Okay, you see I'm just adding a touch of it, because there's only so much red you can put on top of red. So by adding another colour, you get a little bit more darkness. Of course, you can use black, but I would prefer to use sort of a warmer colour, because we've gone to all that effort to make this a nice warm sort of glow. But we don't really want to lose that now, putting black in. Okay, so regular pencil, here we go. I'm going to go all the way around this shape. Now don't be shy with this pencil, you want to get some on there, because we want it to be really dark around there. There you go. Ooh, just shaved a bit off it, but that's okay. And again, I'm just going to use a little bit on one side of those that we did, okay? Right, let's get that blended out with a tortillon. So let's come back in again. Swirls. Because I don't want it to travel too far, we want to keep that controlled and in the middle. See? There we go. All the way around. And then when we put that edge just on those little auras there, we're just going to soften them off as well. You see? Okay, let's have a look further out then. You see how that's sort of come to the foreground? That's what we wanted. So back in with the regular pencil. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick on any of these larger bubbles. Sue, no, you can shade first if you want. What I didn't want to shade it and then muddy my colours. When I say muddy, you know what I mean. They start to look a little bit more vintage if you shade and then add colour over the top, because you get that greyness. But doing it this way, I've actually got pure colour there. And I'm not going to go over them and shade them. I'm going to pick on bits I've not done so far. So any of the bigger bubbles, you see I'm putting like a little sort of smirk on. So it's not going to be all of them, just the bigger ones. You see there, look, little sort of smirks. So, you know, choose wisely, just have a look round and don't try and do them if they're too small. It's not going to work. And then soften them off. There we go. So just putting a couple in there. Right. There you go. You see how it just sort of changes up a bit? So it's gone from having all these little random bubbles to now they've got a little bit of dimension. Some are a bit more in front of others. There you go. And then let's go back in, pencil, and I'm gonna, not as heavy as around the middle, I'm gonna come in and add in some pencil around the edge. Sort of, you know, keep it even. If it's going a bit off, it doesn't matter. You see, just sort of along and around. Follow your shape. There you go. quite a way round, isn't it? That's quite a distance. And then along. And there we go. Back in with the tortilla. And again, not wanting it to travel too far. Let's go in. And swirl it. There you go. You see? Keeping it close. All the way along. And not rushing this bit because, you know, we want to take our time. It's going to give it the shadow around that edge that we're after. Just turn it as you're going. Of course, depending on what colour tile you've used, it might stand out a little bit more on just a white tile or a cream tile. But because I've inked it, it's sitting in that background quite nicely. Oh, hello Elaine. Best pens and pencils, goodness me. If you're thinking about drawing, you want a fine liner that's archival because you don't want it to fade. And ideally, once it dries, you want it to be waterproof. So if you decide that you're going to put some water or ink over the top of it, it's not going to cause you a problem. Pencils wise, it's down to your preference. I keep saying this, I do have pencils on the way. They don't know when they're going to be here. It shouldn't be long, but I do have some pencils on the way. But in the meantime, whatever pencils you've got, you know, even if you've got a pack of 12, I would get the best quality you can afford. Now look at the reviews. I have got a mixture. I use polychromos. I also use the Bronzeal range, which are Sakura. I've got the, oh goodness me, the Derwents. I've got quite a few different ones, but you know, you've got to go with what you feel. Oh, Bev, shading in your die, because it's super smooth paper, what you need to do is go in with layers. Just not try and press on at all, just gently go over with your pencil and then just keep building up. I'll do a little bit tomorrow on air. I'm not doing the diary, but I've got the planner going back, so I'll be able to show you a little bit with that. Okay. See, I'm just, again, any of those bubbles that I added a little bit of shade to, I'm going to come back and add a touch of white pen just to give them a bit of a highlight, and any of those bubbles that you need to neaten up with a white highlight. Now's the time to put it in. See, so I've done this. This is the last thing I do, is white pens, gel pens, or glitter, anything like that. So there you go. See? All right, let's have a look at this. Ooh. And there it is. Okay, we could, if you want to, really want to, put a little bit of a highlight in with some white pen. You see, just opposite where it says the light comes in, it's got to come out. So having that touch there just makes all the difference. Let's see, a little bit. Again, don't have to sort of make it a big thing, you can just add a touch. And that's about it. So, okay. Last thing to do is sign it. So, back to my black pen. How am I going to put it? I'm going to put it in here. There you go. So look at that. So there we go, number 310, all done and sorted. So really looking forward to seeing what colours you use with this one and how it comes on. Could even go around this again with a bit of ink just to sort of darken it up a bit. But yeah, oh, Rose, why not go with, I don't know, go with like a blue, green and yellow maybe. See how that looks? That should be quite nice. Do you know what I'm going to do? I know I've signed it. I'm just going to go back round part of that. Just a little bit. See, you notice I've missed not gonna lie, I've missed bits. That's it, happier with that now. Oh, that one relic. Just where that darkness is. Let's just bring it out. I know, Nadia, I'm faffing. I know. There it is. That's better. All right. Okay. So, yeah. Oh, goodness me, yes. So, see you on Saturday. I'm actually in Oldham on Saturday with Gwen Fletcher from Creative Expressions. So, that should be fun. And, yeah, I will, you know, I won't see you tomorrow, but I'll see you tomorrow if you're watching. Other than that, I might see you Saturday. And then, of course, we've got the first video on the Sanntangle page if you're doing the quilt with me. So, yeah, gosh, lots going on. So I will, yeah, Wendy, I'm putting the pen down, I'm going. So take care, everybody, and I'll see you at some point soon. All right, bye.